All right, we are live from the Six Score War Room. Happy Thanksgiving week, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 a.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, a lot of you have this week off. My kids are off. We're not off.
Mine as well.
Yours off.
Yep.
I'm sort of off after this and seeing some patients driving up to LA for the Brother Bowl.
There you go.
People call it the Har Bowl or Harbaugh Bowl, Brother Bowl. Taking my son. It's a one-off game, so I hate going to games when I can't with the war room and stuff. Too much going on, but singular game. I'll be there.
Boots on the ground,
whatever. And the staff will still send me WhatsApp video. I really like the video board at SoFi. That's
one of their big traits. Yeah, people love that. Yeah.
That's what I love about SoFi. Yep. What I hate about SoFi is it's so segregated. When you have friends there, they're in a different section or a different level. You just can't get there. You can't just walk around the ring and get to them. Everything is,
I feel like it depends on the style, because I've seen you at baseball games. I know some people that they don't want to move from their seat. You're a mingler. You like to move around. So I know that definitely upsets you if you can't move around. I've seen you do it. I went to one Padre game with you, and I don't think I saw you seat once, but I saw you in 3 different sections. So you move around.
Seeing people, saying hello, it's fine.
That's what you love to do.
Whatever. Yeah. But my son will want to be in the seat an hour early, and maybe he'll keep me in the seats. I'll see some guys afterwards.
What jersey is he wearing? I know he's a Mahomes fan.
He's got a Herbert jersey. He's got a selection, so he's probably wear a Herbert jersey. And I'll see some guys, coaches and others. I'm a Harbaugh guy, right? Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh guy. No, I didn't text Jim. I didn't get tickets from him. I mean, it's like I'm not gonna bug him, whatever.
But just talk about that game.
I'll probably see him afterwards.
Okay. Well, that's big. Yeah, talk about you've been talking about Harbaugh stories for podcasts for years. We had Von Parker on. You have a lot of stuff to talk about. I want to talk about the game real quick. They just mentioned that we had at 6 for all time. Roquan Smith is not going to play. That's a big loss for the.
We've been saying that Harbaugh. Look, Roquan Smith is not going to play, and he's a sideline to sideline linebacker with a hamstring. Yeah, Adam Schefter indicated that he really wasn't. Look, we said this before. I respect John Harbaugh. I've never met him. I don't know him. I know Jim very well.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh does his job. He plays some games with the injury reporting, legal games. Roquan Smith, questionable.
After
DNP
not practicing all week. Yeah.
Hamstring. He's not playing, but he plays the legal games. And I'm not hating on him for it. He does his job. He's been a successful coach. And Travis Jones, I'm not sure is going to play. He's got a left high ankle, according to what we have seen. And of course, no Michael Pierce. So let's see what happens there.
Let's talk about, I guess for playing games, I guess we can lead into our first topic before we do a rundown, is just talking about that Brock Purdy situation about his shoulder. There's a lot of stuff that's been talked about, how a lot of stuff wasn't on the injury report, or they've been hiding stuff. It's been all the way back to CMC with his bilateral tendinitis. And now even on Twitter, we're seeing Brendan Allen played with a splint on his finger. Apparently that wasn't on the report for 2 weeks. So tell me your thoughts on because we're big on injury reports, right? So we need to see that stuff. So what's going on there on the Niners?
Nothing. I mean,
much ado. Yeah.
Look, overall, I've said it before. Look, maybe I'm biased because I'm a John Lynch guy. San Diego, know and love John Lynch.
Pines, yep.
I don't really know Kyle Shanahan. I know people who do know him, but as we observe what Kyle Shanahan has said and what John Lynch has said, I really have not caught them in lies.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they said has made sense. John Harbaugh, lying's a strong word.
Yeah, the bone bruise thing, they talk about Lamar Jackson. It wasn't really lying. It was just,
John Harbaugh we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not last year, but 2022 and
23,
or 21, 22, whatever.
2 weeks in a row. Yeah.
1 year with the knee, 1 year with the ankle at the end of the season. Every Monday, he's looking better this week. We're expecting him to practice. We have optimism. And on Monday, we're like, Lamar Jackson is not playing.
Right.
This is in December. He does his job. I guess lying is a strong word. Coach speak.
Yes.
John Harbaugh has coach speak in him. Kyle Shanahan, we haven't seen a lot of that related to injuries. Now, have people been surprised? Yes. And as the story goes, if you believe the 49ers, they were surprised that CMC, after they rested him all preseason, wasn't ready to go. And we thought CMC was going to be ready to go because it was a calf. But sneakily, they were honest. They said calf/Achilles before week 1. And it was the Achilles tendonitis that knocked him out.
Right.
After going to Germany, John Lynch said bilateral. He described it. I think they've been relatively honest. Brock Purdy here. I genuinely, look, I got a lot of grief this week because I think Tuesday I said,
we posted a video saying,
Brock Purdy's going to be fine. We went back and looked at plays. To this moment, we still haven't identified the play.
There's a couple, but we haven't definite.
One touchdown play where he kind of lands a little bit funny on the elbow, maybe shoulder. One play where he gets hit mid-throwing motion. Does he strain his rotator cuff? There's no structural damage. There's swelling. There's likely a rotator cuff strain. But we didn't see anything on video. And because we didn't see anything on video, we thought Brock Purdy would play. So I got a lot of grief for that. And we didn't delete the tweet or the video.
Yeah, no.
But to be fair, the 49ers seem to have been surprised too. They thought rest Wednesday, he'll come out, do some light throwing on Thursday, and he'll be fine. And that's when he came off the field and got the MRI and then DMP'd on Friday. So they followed the rules. And I think they have been surprised with 2-star injuries a little bit.
Yeah.
And that gets people talking. Then once people are talking, what about Brandon Allen and his finger?
Yeah.
I have to say, are you kidding me? Like,
2 weeks ago,
if you wanted every finger dislocation or chip fracture or every quad contusion on there, the list would be endless. Okay. And I've been in the training room. Believe me, I didn't spend all those hours. Look, the medical staff's athletic trainers were always the last ones on the bus after a game, after a road game, because we have to check everyone first before we take our showers and get going, right? And I'm telling you, that takes 45 minutes. It's not 2 people.
Right.
On average, I would check about a dozen players after every game. And on average, half the team comes through the training room for some treatment, especially by week 12, now headed to week 13.
So you don't have like one line of everybody. You have multiple like lines of people looking at everybody, or?
Well, depends on what it is. Remember, when you travel, you have 3 doctors.
Right.
You think you have 3 doctors to check out 2 injuries post-game? No. It's the collision sport of football.
Right.
You think there's 5 athletic trainers and physical therapy and plus physical therapists to check out like the 4 injuries that are in the injury report?
No.
I mean, look, you want to be picky about it. Brandon Allen, look, absolute injury reporting, finable offense if Brandon Allen had a right middle finger
on his throwing hand.
Yes, yeah. Left side, it doesn't inhibit him. He's not missing practice. He wears a splint. He's playing through. I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know. That's just not how injury reporting has worked among all 32 NFL teams.
Right.
And so I don't know. Maybe I'm too jaded in it, but it doesn't surprise me at all. I've seen it and lived it. And if you want to nitpick any of this, you can find all 32 teams probably every week.
And I think people are, because remember on Monday or Tuesday, they said shoulder soreness. So they're just like you said, that's what every sport does. That's what they do for baseball. They have an elbow soreness and then it turns into a UCL tear, right? So it's just like you said, playing the game words. It's not really lying, right?
His shoulder was sore. They reported his throwing shoulder. They didn't get the MRI till Thursday now. So it's not like they were concerned enough to get the MRI on Monday.
I think you're right about the surprise, because remember it was Thursday. They were about to let him talk. You know, he always talks after Thursday practice, and then they were like, "Oh, he's not talking Thursday." So that changed a little bit everything. And then that's like you said, they might have saw something on Thursday, and they're like, "Oh shoot, he's not ready."
Well, I think the way the story goes, if you follow the San Francisco beat reporters, is he was fine, a little shoulder soreness, and then Wednesday was going to be an off for him, and then Thursday, okay, get out there and warm ups, and he didn't feel right, and he left the field. That's when they said, "Oh, you better go get the MRI," and everything escalated. I don't see it as a big surprise. I mean, if they really wanted to play the game, they could have made Brock Purdy questionable on Friday. That would be legal because the MRI doesn't have anything structural. Maybe he'll become less sore in 2 days. Let's make him questionable on Friday.
Right.
It said the 49ers ruled him out on Friday.
Yep.
I don't see that as manipulating the system. And that's not what I've seen out of the 49ers. And I'm not being a 49ers fan. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
What's happening?
If you want to look at the manipulations of injury reports, John Harbaugh's guiltier than Kyle Shanahan. And I'm not saying John Harbaugh's doing anything wrong or illegal.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean.
and the favorite thing, you guys have heard this before. Everyone's like, well, Bill Belichick was always dishonest. No, he wasn't. He followed the rules of injury reporting. He used the injury reporting to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's legal because those 14 players were getting treatment on something, so he put them all as questionable.
Not a lie.
Not a lie. But he didn't lie. He just didn't tell you what they were. He didn't tell you he was going to play, and he played hide the bacon.
And they were all limited practice. They weren't full practice, so he could say LP, 3 straight and questionable. So, I mean.
Right, and LP means all but one play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or only one play.
Right.
That's the definition of LP.
It's a huge bar.
And what's FP for a player? He did everything we asked him to do. FP does not mean 100%.
No, it does not. There would be nothing on there. FP means it's so
FP
limited.
Means we did everything we asked him to. He did everything we asked him to do.
Note over the top, just bare minimum. Yeah.
Oh, but you could say we didn't ask him to do X, Y, and Z.
So he FP'd. Yeah. It's all a game. Even you just had to get good at understanding the game, I guess, right?
Yes.
But all right, next situation I want to talk about was obviously the big thing on Twitter and all around social media was Daniel Jones and his immediate release. They said he was shagging balls, as the fourth quarterback. How is that situation? Do you see from your eyes? And like, it seems you don't see that situation often, right? But
well, we do and we don't.
Yeah,
okay. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Giants treated him poorly." The Giants did exactly what the Denver Broncos did to Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Because the injury guarantee, they benched Russell Wilson last year. The Giants did exactly what the Raiders did to Derek Carr on the way out the door, to Jimmy Garoppolo on the way out the door, because of the injury guarantee. So the Giants haven't done anything unusual with that. What you can argue, did they manage the situation correctly or not? Should they give him a contract? But with the injury guarantee, you don't want to be on the hook for $23 million.
That's the right move from business standpoint. Yes, I can see that.
And once they made that move and they realized having Daniel Jones continue to be there was going to be a distraction, they said, we'll just be good people and let him be free. Okay? Because you knew you weren't going to bring him back. Daniel Jones did the right thing. He played it nicely. And the timing, they were hoping that someone would claim him and then they could relieve $11 million of salary this year.
Was that a pipe dream, though? I don't think anyone was ever going to claim him.
I don't think it's technically unclaimed yet. I think we got another hour.
Yes, it's not. You're right.
Not a free agent yet.
You're right.
But once he is a free agent, that contract is null and void. No one's going to claim him and then inherit a $23 million injury guarantee.
Right.
No one's going to claim him and pay $11 million the rest of the season. And then if he does get hurt, now you're on the hook for $23 million.
You're in the same situation the Giants just got out of. Yeah.
No one's going to claim him, but that's why they delayed the release to, just play it out. And sure enough, Gardner Minshew is injured, but the Raiders, I don't know. I mean, he can go where he wants. He'll be a free agent.
I was going to say, throw your hat. Yeah, we did like the Rams, but we were talking about Jimmy G a little bit.
No,
they said,
he's not going to the Rams because Jimmy G's there. So Baltimore, Minnesota, Raiders, if he wants to play, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I don't think they mistreated Daniel Jones. There are all sorts of shenanigans. We've been talking about Trevor Lawrence. He's healthy enough to play. They're 2-9. Will he play this week? I don't know. He finished the game with that AC joint, yet he didn't play the couple weeks after that. That one's not for injury guarantee. That's because they want a healthy guy for next season because they're wed to him. But contractual things come into play. Look, I'll throw out a conspiracy theory. I know nothing, okay? The Jets and the Giants, both kind of dumpster fires. Will Aaron Rodgers be the starter coming out of the bye?
I'll say, just tell me what you think. Yeah, that's an interesting take, yeah.
I can't read Woody Johnson's mind, but okay. Aaron Rodgers does not have an injury guarantee.
Nope.
He has a guarantee for next year.
Yes.
He is wed to the Jets
till
next
2020.
year.
Yeah, 2025 is locked in. Yes.
He said he wants to play again. Do the Jets want him next year?
Yeah.
Leaning towards no.
Because if you do a whole culture change, you can't bring him back, right? It's just
correct.
Yeah.
Does Aaron Rodgers want to be there next year?
I don't know if he does. Maybe.
I'm not sure he does either.
Right.
So maybe the mutual parting is to say, we're going to bench you, go to Tyrod Taylor. He won't like the benching. And say, look.
And he'll become a distraction, and then
Aaron Rodgers doesn't stay quiet.
He has a weekly appearance. Yeah.
They may be better off. Maybe the compromise is you're a vested vet, so his salary this year is guaranteed no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you agree to waive your contract or redo your and get off the 2025 season, we'll let you be free now.
Okay. And he would love it. He would love that if that was offered, I would say. Yeah.
That might be the win-win for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. And it's interesting, the 33rd team. I love the guys at 33rd.
Yes, you have a lot of friends over there. Ari's there now. We've had him on the pod. We've talked about him. Yes.
Ari's first public-facing thing was on our podcast here.
You unmasked him. Yeah.
No, Ari's great. Love Ari. I like Mike Tannenbaum.
Mm-hmm.
I like Rick Spielman. I mean, Rich Gannon, our friend, is there.
Mm-hmm.
Ross Tucker has
involved
in there. So they've got a good crew of people. But I think it's interesting. You know, Mike Tannenbaum used to be the Jets GM.
Woody knows him well. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, so maybe there's a connection there. Or is this a Dick Cheney thing? Who should be the vice president? Okay, it might be me. I don't know.
I'm making
a joke out of that. I'm just making a joke out of that. They do have some qualified people in the room at 33rd team.
Have you seen Rex Ryan throwing his hat in the ring a little bit on ESPN? I think it's a lot, but I don't know. He knows Woody too. So I mean, because I guess he's trying, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I find it interesting. Tannenbaum used to be a Jets GM now, so it's interesting what's going to come of that.
And they apparently, Spielman helped Peters go to the Commanders, so they think that he has a good, track record and connections to get them where they want to be, I guess, right? So,
well, in some ways, John Lynch was the same, right?
Yep.
I mean, they were trying to find Kyle Shanahan somebody, and all of a sudden it's like, well, how about you? Oh, you really? Okay.
Yep. They got along, and they're like, hey, let's see if this works. Yeah.
So that'll be interesting how the 33rd team influence works out there. It's an interesting situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to jump in this rundown. You already mentioned Lawrence. I do want to jump a little bit into Minshew and his fractured clavicle out for the season. Do you think Aidan O'Connell can come back from his wrist tendon finger issue?
Tough. I mean, short week.
Yeah.
Not an established quarterback. Under a chain system under
Mm-hmm.
Scott Turner
Correct.
and Norv Turner,
Mm-hmm.
a modified system. Desmond Ritter's still new. Tough.
It's a tough situation. Yeah.
Minshew's done for the season. I got to give Minshew credit. He broke his collarbone very much like Aaron Rodgers a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Someone landing on him, and you could tell he was in pain, but he just got up and walked it off the field.
Unlike another Raiders quarterback, right? Former, will not be named. Big running back that is going to be maybe playing Thanksgiving. We always have the Lions and Cowboys play. Lions, David Montgomery suffered injury this week. Came back, but Campbell kept him on the sidelines and said bigger fish to fry. What did you see in the video when we gave David Montgomery?
I think Montgomery can play through a bigger fish to fry, meaning Thanksgiving game,
Mm-hmm.
short week. Colts was non-divisional. They're ahead. They were winning, not even conference.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Bears. And teams don't look past other teams. Bears is a divisional, traditional matchup. Thanksgiving. Detroit always host, and the
Mm-hmm.
Bears always play on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So that's something they're used to seeing, and it's always been a tough.
And speaking
matchup.
of the next game, the Cowboys, their big issue, what they've been dominant all year, they had Tyron Smith back in the day, is their O-line, right? You have a problem with maybe Tyler Smith and Zach Martin playing this week, right? Short week.
They beat Washington, but
Yep.
Tyler Smith, I'm still waiting for Udoga to.
Yes, he was active, but they just skipped over him. Yeah, so they have Guyton and other people. So.
Guyton's playing. Udoga's ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
in theory. Martin and Tyler Smith, guards out, but the Cowboys had a better run game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the difference between, how many quarterbacks in this league can win and do well consistently without an established run game?
Not at all. You can't.
Maybe Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And even then, they have some run game. How did CJ Stroud do yesterday without a run game?
He didn't play well at all. Once you limit Mixon, they got beat by the Titans. Yeah,
Why did Will Levis do so well and beat him? They had a run game. Tony Pollard did pretty well yesterday. When Cooper Rush was 5-1, Ezekiel Elliott was in their prime, and the Cowboys O-line, they had a good run game. They haven't had a good run game, and so
all season. Yeah,
Cooper Rush. Yesterday, the run game was a little better. They beat Washington. Look, it's very hard to be one-dimensional, right? And win. So Cooper Rush isn't bad. It's just they need a run game to balance them off.
I had a question from the fans. My dad is asking about the Dolphins. He said, "How about them Fins?" I did want to bring up too. Terran Armstead. He's been not practicing for the last 2 weeks. He did suit up last week. Barely played. What are your thoughts on his injury? He's got chronic knees, right?
He's a vet. They probably have a deal going where you say, "Look, can you play on Sunday? We'll give you the rest during the week."
Right.
We just need you on Sunday. The Dolphins have been less explosive, more underneath stuff, but won the last 3 games. I never thought the Dolphins were dead.
What do you think about that quick passing? Is that something that came out after his situation with the concussion, Tua? Is that something that they maybe changed?
Maybe because they're, to make sure that Terran Armstead,
they need to
keep. I get he's left-handed and it's his non-blind side, but whatever. Look, teams morph during the season. That's how we say teams study the last 4 weeks of a team.
It's quarters. Yep, quarters. Yeah, quarters.
More than the rest. We certainly like Green Bay a lot this week, and
don't tell him that. Yeah.
And let me tell you, a short week traveling up. Your dad's a Dolphins fan.
Huge Dolphins fan. Yeah.
We still got to work on the numbers, but I don't know about that this week.
I was going through my baby stuff this
cold
weekend.
Weather. No,
yeah.
I mean, cold weather. We'll see. I mean, it's unfair to say Tua can't play in cold weather because, when you open up when beer is freezing, you open up a water and it freezes instantly in that bitter cold. And when helmets are shattered, that's just not fair.
Right.
But and I'm not a big believer in this. Oh, you're from Miami, and therefore you can't play in the cold. Look, if Saquon Barkley got traded to Miami, you think he could play in the cold?
Yeah, specifically because he
Penn State.
Hey, thank you. I was about to say,
right,
yes,
I mean, right?
Happy Valley. He's in the cold. Yes, yeah, you're right.
I mean, it depends on styles and whatever, but yes, I get the questions why, because Tua's in Miami and he's been a warm weather quarterback, Alabama, from Hawaii, hasn't really played much in the cold. I get why the questions are there, but it's too simple to say Miami can't play in the cold.
Well, that's what they said about Jared Goff too. Remember back in the time with, he can't play a cow kid, So, I mean, it's always there until they prove that they can, I guess, right? There's nothing else they can do. It's all the media stuff telling them they can't play in the cold, but you're right.
Jameis Winston can't play in the cold.
Yeah, until then.
Small hands.
Yes. I was going to mention that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was an errant throw or two, but I mean, those conditions were tough in the snow.
I want to say this was all pre-latex too. He got his eyes fixed, right?
Latex
or whatever. What's the LASIK? Excuse me. Wrong L word. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. He's still doing the same, right? He threw 3 picks the game before, so it's just he's driving the ball down the field.
You know what it is? It's the NFL. This is not Alabama playing San Diego State.
Right.
I don't care who the best team and the worst team. Look at Carolina taking the Chiefs to overtime. Or not overtime, but the last minute.
Yeah.
A game
field goal
with no time on the clock. My point is, in that Pittsburgh Thursday game, Pittsburgh let him off the hook. Russell Wilson, they drove to the 30, took a sack out of field goal range, drove down, missed a field goal, drove some, didn't convert a 4th down, gave up field position. And then Cleveland got some life.
Yeah.
And once they got some life and the heavy snow came, they stayed in front.
One injury I wanted to mention from that game outside the Dolphins is Jaire Alexander and his PCL injury. Tell me your thoughts on that. He did actually tell us in an interview what exactly he's dealing with.
Doesn't surprise. We know it's a chronic knee issue. We've talked about Puka Nacua, who's now looking pretty good with his PCL from the preseason. Jaire's still dealing with it. I don't see a player he didn't play this week. as we said. You don't return to play, not finish a game, and then play the next
They're
week.
not going to game plan for that. They're going to they want to.
So he might be out again. Yeah.
One quick one. Just go to the Friday game real quick. The big issue. You told everybody that everybody thought Isiah Pacheco was going to return. You said no.
But here's where I'm wrong. I said Isiah Pacheco isn't returning until December. As I looked at the calendar,
the Friday game. Yeah.
Figured week 13 Sunday is December.
Yeah.
Black Friday is still November. So the Chiefs play in
couple
November.
days
so
off.
I'm wrong. Pacheco will be back in late November, not early December. But yeah, I think Pacheco's back. And Omenahue maybe too.
Yeah, Menahue's a big gain they'll have. Big defensive end, sack guy. He tore his ACL prior last year. Big one. Also, one more injury for those Thursday games. Jake Ferguson. They already reported we were leaning already towards him not playing with concussion, short week. He missed this week, right? I want to talk about Jonathon Brooks. Everybody was excited for him to finally debut. He did. He had 2 carries for 7 yards. He had a prop of 14.5. That's exactly what you expected, right? For the rookie.
What do you have? 2 carries
for 7 yards? Yeah, prop was at 14.5.
I'm a little surprised they didn't use him a little bit more. But look, for all the fantasy people that have been saying Jonathon Brooks, we told you before the draft, don't take Jonathon Brooks,
right?
Or at least not high.
It's whatever lower 6 scores. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Running back situation for the Washington, including their O-line, they have a couple people that have concussions. Your thoughts, and Eckler too. Your thoughts on Brian Robinson and his ankle injury? We didn't see much, right, in the video?
I think it wasn't a high ankle, so that's good. I think he could have returned, but I think they were just using Eckler because he wasn't 100% Robinson. But now with Eckler's concussion, it may be back to Robinson.
Okay. One I had too. We had a fan ask a question for you. Josh Downs, is he able to return week 14? You saw AC joint sprain, right?
If he takes an injection.
Yeah. So week 13 or 4. Yeah, if the injection, that's just hard use to back in the day. He'd probably be playing, right? So it's just changed a little bit now.
It's a different world now. I mean, back in the day, I wrote about it. I got permission from Drew Brees to talk about it. Trevor Lawrence has an AC joint sprain. He did finish the game.
Yep.
Drew Brees got one in game. We injected him in the tunnel without an X-ray. I mean, you would never do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, back in the day, there was why in the tunnel? Because we didn't have a blue tent back then. I wanted a blue tent back then.
But now we have this company. Now you're like, crap.
I don't want.
I want to see everything. Yeah, exactly.
I want to see. You know, I don't want the TV camera to go away. So today, I don't know that I'm going to bring binoculars, but like I'll keep watching when the doctors bring the player to the sideline and see what they do and what have you. But it's all good.
Excuse me. What's it called? Dalton Kincaid. He missed last 2 weeks ago. The big Chiefs game that they won. They had a bye. What's your chance of him playing this week against?
I think it's a mild PCL.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he could have a chance, but it's not guaranteed to play. Obviously, we had no reports over the bye week.
Is a big tight end that's actually been playing really well for the Carolina Panthers this year. Jontavian Sanders, he left on his spine board. They reported all extremities, which is good news for him.
I get it. He's already been discharged. He's fine.
Correct.
Like I get it's scary. You land right on the crown of your head, but I don't think there was enough force there to cause a cervical fracture. Enough force there to cause
like a Big E type of situation.
Yeah, I don't.
The wrestler. Yeah.
The good news is he's fine. Or so far he's fine. You want a spine board 99 people to not miss the one.
Yeah.
So nothing against that. Admittedly, I didn't spine board a lot of people in my time just because of the trauma of the spine board and what it does to family. I try to do a better job of checking them out, but I would never fault anyone for spine boarding somebody.
Sticking in that game, what are your thoughts on Trent Williams? Playing this game, he missed. It was like kind of Taron Armstead situation. You know, DMPs 3 straight. He played last week, the week before, but this week he missed.
Chances of returning to play of the big 49er misses.
There you go. Yeah, let's do that. Yes.
Okay. Trent Williams 1. Brock Purdy next. Nick Bosa last. Who knows? And God bless Javarius Ward.
Yeah, there's no timeline. We got to give him space. Yeah.
I mean, I hope he does. I hope, but that personal tragedy is horrific. So Purdy, we'll see. I mean, I would assume that he got an injection. I would assume they're trying to calm it down, but we'll see. It's not guaranteed yet. We'll see.
Darnell Mooney, he suffered a hamstring injury right before the bye. They had a bye this week. He's a speed guy. Are you a little worried about his availability
Speed
this
guy,
week?
yes.
Yeah.
Reports of mild are encouraging, but he is a speed guy, so we'll have to see. All right. Anything else here?
No. You have any beasts of the weeks you had mentioned? I was going to write Winston in his small hands, but you took that from me.
Why is it?
Because I didn't expect him to do good. So.
Oh, come on. Man. You know what? You know what I'm going to give the beast of the week to? I was entertained by this.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Baker Mayfield. He's been playing well. You did get Mike Evans back, and he's resurrected his career. But the Tommy DeVito.
When you said that, you're like, that's so him. That's
so him. That's so great. But I loved how he, in a very interesting and classy way, handled the media.
Yes, you saw that, right? Yes.
The media questions of what was your mocking or whatever it was of Tommy DeVito. No, it was a tribute.
Mm-hmm.
The fans love Tommy DeVito in New York, so I was giving them some Tommy DeVito.
He read the tone of the reporter. He could,
and he could tell the reporter was after him.
He could, yes.
And he said, "Look, I met Tommy. I love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was giving him a tribute. I mean, that's what people like in New York. I gave him a tribute. It's a Tommy DeVito tribute." And then something about, well, do you have any Italian in you? I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done 23andMe.
It's so good. He's quick. He's ready. That was good. Yeah, he had the right responses for that because that could have. He like you said, you could read that reporter was trying to get something.
I've joked with people. I haven't done 23andMe either, but I joke that I'm part Italian.
There you go.
Chao.
Yeah.
Last name Chao.
Yep. There you go. You're you're half Italian right there, right? But yeah, I'll agree. That is 100% the beast of the week. Yes.
Yeah, I actually, when I went to Italy, it was my first time at this ACL study group thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very prestigious invite. And I was a young guy, and I didn't have academic affiliations. Most of them are like big time researchers, and it's a very prestigious group. You have to get voted in, and so forth. And I was so clueless. I was invited to give a talk. Mm-hmm. They judge you on the talk.
Wow. Okay.
And they judge you on how you interact with this elite group.
And you knew they were judging before the.
Oh no, I did not know they were judging.
I didn't think you
did. They did not know they were.
Yeah.
I did not know. I mean, I would have been more on it.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was shaking hands, and like a friend of mine, I won't say who, I went with. We both were new to this group,
mm-hmm.
and he's way more accomplished than I am. He was also a head team physician. He was chairman of an orthopedic department.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in private practice, and he didn't get in that year. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I didn't. He got in. He's more than qualified. Yeah. I'm not even going to say the guy's name, but respect the heck out of him. But I think what actually might have gotten me in indirectly is when you started the speech, everyone, I don't know. When you give a speech, a lot of times you're supposed to tell a joke or something.
Just break the crowd up.
Break the crowd up. And this was kind of a serious crowd. And I don't know. You guys probably know me. So I said, look, thanks to this doctor for hosting this Italian. It was in Sardinia. And, and I said, everyone's been so hospitable and so nice in the country and the food and everything set up. And I said, I'm very honored and you guys have been nice to me. But what I didn't expect is everywhere I went, everyone knew my name. Coming and going, everyone was saying Chao, Chao.
You're funny. That's good.
And for the next 3 days, people kept referring to that joke as I don't think they remember what I spoke about.
No, you gave the best joke of the day there.
So whatever. I mean, it's all good. So I'm part Italian, so to speak.
Yes.
Anyways, enough rambling. We'll see you at the Monday Night Football game tonight. Mm-hmm. Then on to week 13. Big Thanksgiving. We won't be in the war room, but we'll monitor.
I do want to mention we were 3-0 on our 3-star picks this week. We're going to have some kind of offer coming up, especially for Thanksgiving. So
turkey guarantee.
Get
stuffed.
Yes.
Black Friday. I don't know. Whatever. Doug and Craig and the rest of the team will come.
Whip it up.
Stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. Sports Injury Central Pro Football Doc podcast, and appreciate the questions and live format. Jordan Whitehead pec tear confirmed. We think Jalen Petrie
yes,
has a pec tear, tendon tear as well. And Well, we'll keep reporting the
news will roll in. Yes, absolutely. Go to
As it
64.com. Yep.
All right. Thanks.